Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. It's your guy, Dave Neal here, stand-up comedian, host of Bachelorette Recap. So it's the off season. We got another 4 weeks or so until Bachelorette premieres on June 7th, 2021. But in the meantime, I'm going to play for you guys a clip from Katie Thurston's TikTok. She's the new Bachelorette, and she went on TikTok. She's our first TikTok Bachelorette. She had several 100,000 TikTok members from viral videos of her sharing about her life. So, very, I would say rated R in a good way. Sex positive things, talking about the time she pooped her pants at the bank. I mean, just very fun things you'll never hear on broadcast television. But she does like over an hour long live last night. We're going to play just a couple clips from it. It's 12 or 13 minutes long, and it's going to be Katie talking about the process. What she thought about, the comments that she's been getting online about it all, and also where she is right now. She's in San Diego, and who she's visiting. She's visiting some of the former ladies from her cast in previous seasons. So she shares a little bit of info, plus some just other fun facts about her. So if you want to get invested in the upcoming Bachelorette in the season, and you don't know much about Katie Thurston, this is a great way to find it out. Now, of course, TikTok, it's like, Vine on steroids. There's comments and things flashing. It's like a casino on here. So hang tight, buckle up, and I'll try to navigate you guys through that. I will be playing some background music here, unlicensed, because she's got licensed music in her background, and we're trying to just not get the video flagged. So pardon that, and there might be a few formatting problems here.
I don't even know who's my TikTok people versus the other world. Which, speaking of the other world, if you're here for any of that, that is off limits. I cannot talk about anything related to the show.
But she does. She will.
So,
hold on.
Sorry to bust your bubble if you came here from some tea.
Don't worry about my formatting here.
You guys, I'm literally being watched like a hawk. So I have to be so good.
No engagement rings.
No tea. I know. Everyone's so thirsty for something.
Give us something, Katie. Come on.
Did you guys bring a drink? Because I did. Where's MJ? In my bathroom.
MJ's her adult toy for those new people.
Oh my gosh, I miss
Vibrator.
You guys. There's some names that are popping up that I recognize from early May of last year. My little quarantine crew. Anyway, I don't even so normally when I go live back in the day, we would all play a drinking game together. Now I have to be extra careful about pretty much everything I do and say. But I just thought it'd be fun. Oh, thanks, Emma. To just hop on and okay, sorry, I'm so distracted. These are the rings I'm wearing right now.
Yeah, no Neal Lane on there.
Yes, thanks Mars Smart or whatever. I don't know how to say people's names. That's the hard thing about this. My time. I'm trying to be careful about things I say.
Look at all the comments she's
getting. Some girls that you'll recognize, some guys you'll recognize, some extended affiliates you'll recognize. It's gonna be a really good time. I need a vacation. I've been trying to plan a vacation since pre-quarantine, and then the quarantine just had you canceling all your trips.
And people are like, "Oh, well, isn't going to New Mexico and meeting 25 guys a vacation?" No, that's work. Katie's been logging in the hours. Okay, I can't imagine how exhausting that must be. How lonely too.
Which is fine, I guess. Everything worked out the way it was supposed to. What are your hobbies? I love playing volleyball.
She said everything worked out the way it's supposed to. Let's not take whatever she's saying here as just side talk. She said everything worked out the way it's supposed to. Does that mean she got engaged? Okay.
And taking naps and eating, if I'm being completely honest. Oh, and drinking. I mean, let's be honest. As adults, what kind of hobbies do you really have? Okay, I love socializing. That's why I'm on a live. But I do love going out and eating and drinking with friends. I once dated a guy who had a really special diet. Oh, thanks, Fat Boy Slim. But a really special diet, and it was horrible because to me, eating together is such a bonding experience. It's a social experience, and if you can't enjoy food and drinks together, it's just what's the point?
What's the point? What a valid, first of all, Katie, very valid stand-up comedy premise there. What's the point of being in your 30s if you're not going to go out to bars and go drink and eat places? I mean, look, if you got kids, you got to worry about them. But if you're a single person in your 30s, literally all you're doing is looking for new places to eat food. That's it. Whenever we travel, it's like, let's go somewhere new. What are we going to do there? I don't know. Let's go eat. That's literally maybe a hike to burn off the calories from the souffle, whatever, but that's it.
So, with TikTok, whoever wanted to be like in my life could be in my life. Like they were happy to like support me, and if they didn't like me, they can move on. But now with my new journey,
Bachelorette,
love me or hate me, I'm like being shoved in people's faces, and so that's really hard because the internet is brutal.
love me or hate me, I'm being shoved in people's faces. That's really hard because the internet is brutal. Very emo of Katie, but also so correct. She's the type of person that engages so much with her fan base that negative comments can just show up out of nowhere in a world where I'm sure she's never gotten a negative comment in her life, except for maybe an ex-boyfriend. Looking at you, Andrew. I thought we had a thing. No, you didn't. So that's what makes it interesting to like have a little fame is that, normally on TikToks, you don't like someone, you unfollow them. But now that you're being shoved into people's lives, she's going to be shoved into the Bible Belt. She's going to be shoved into a lot of places, looking at you, Fantasy Suite. And she might, not be somebody's cup of tea, which would normally be fine. But now people are going to have their say, and it's just ridiculous. I really hope she learns to do a good job of just ignoring the haters. There's more positivity out there.
Brutal. Thanks. I got the top from Ross recently, so it's probably still in their inventory.
Ross.
Which means this is probably like an $8 shirt. You know what I was thinking about the other day, though, is all the people, do you guys ever do this? Where you made like a marriage pact where you're like, if I'm not married, by the time I'm 30, we're gonna get married. As if like being 30 years old is like ancient. I think of that guy in high school where I'm like, I'm not married.
There you have it, folks. She says, I'm not married. Now, listen, in every season of The Bachelor, Bachelorette, it ends in a proposal or not a proposal, but it never ends in marriage. So she's not wrong by saying she's not married. But also, one would think she's single from hearing that. But I think it's a hypothetical. I think it's a premise she's talking about. Like, oh, isn't it weird how when you're in your 30s? Or like, I had my friend Julie. I remember in French class, junior in high school, I had a marriage pact with Julie. I don't know where Julie is these days. I'm happily engaged. But the point is that when you're 15 or 17, you think you're just gonna have a family with kids by 24 years old, and then you realize, unless you're Becca Martinez, that just isn't happening. You know what I mean? Like most people, especially in today's world, you just mature later. It's probably because the economy's in a weird spot. It takes longer to settle down. People don't want to get married because we saw our parents go through so many sham weddings and divorces. We're like, you know what? Maybe not for me. I don't know if it's social media or what it is about my generation, like elder millennials, but it's like we weren't sold on this American dream that previous generations were. Our American dream's having a White Claw and going on TikTok and talking to strangers. Don't mention the recession of 2008 and the global pandemic, but what I'm trying to say is you didn't do a good enough job of getting us to a place where we want to settle down. And because of that, that's where we are. And so she's 30 and she's got a marriage pact.
Do I call him? Do I not? I don't know. But it's just funny how like when we were younger, 16, 17, 18, 30 years old felt so old.
Yeah.
Like I remember being, how old was I? 19, and I dated a 24-year-old. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. No. If anything, this 19-year-old female was probably on the same maturity level as that 24-year-old male.
Probably more mature.
Long time no see. How's Alaska treating you? What's the quality I look for the most in a guy? I think a sense of humor. That probably stands out the most.
Wow.
Thanks, Frankie.
Values, sense of humor.
Yeah, they gotta be funny. I say this a lot, and I've said it before. If you guys saw the guys I dated, none of them look the same. So like appearance is not a thing for me. It's like, I know it sounds so cliche, but it's like, gotta be kind, gotta be funny.
Well, they've got like sapiosexuals are people that are attracted to intelligence, and everyone looks for something different in a partner, but usually it's some form of survival. You're looking for like a brute strong guy who's going to be a protector, or a funny guy who's going to be able to be good in social situations, or a wealthy dork who's just going to provide for you because he's got an established career, and when you grew up you didn't have that security. I mean, there's no shame there. We all look for those types of things in others. What I think is good in a partnership is when you don't need something from others. She's going to be okay financially. She's the Bachelorette. She's got the looks, attraction, humor, so she doesn't need those things in a desperate way from others, but you can still want that attraction to say, all right, I don't need you to provide for me. I don't need you to protect me. I need someone to enjoy life with me, and that's what she's looking for.
Just have a good personality. Oh, what's up, Tris? Thank you. Best friend from BN? Alana, I would say.
Alana.
In fact, I see her tomorrow. I can't wait. I see a ton of people this whole week. If you didn't know, I am the Bachelorette, which is weird because some people are like, wait, what? Especially given like my content, you're like, no way. What else was I gonna say? Shoot, I get so distracted.
Isn't that wild if you don't follow the Bachelor or Bachelorette show, you're just like a teen on TikTok and you found her as a fan, and then all of a sudden she's on your TV and you're like, oh my gosh, that's the girl who talks about crap in her pants at a bank.
Well, that's it then. That's all I can share for now. It'll come back to me.
Authenticity.
So I talked to the other women. Yes, I'm seeing a bunch of them this week. Actually, I'll just tell you who. I can tell you that.
Tell us who.
I'm going to see Alana, Cassandra, Sarah, Jasenia, Sydney, Tammy from Peter's season. I feel like I'm missing some girls. That might be the crew. Oh, maybe Sarah Coffin, actually. She's here. I don't want to tell you where I'm at. But she's around. She's around. I might see her.
Where are you? I will find you.
If I'm here, yes, the show is wrapped up. Getting created as we speak, in terms of the final touches. So,
does anyone want to look at these drapes back here and tell me if you can tell what hotel she's at? Is this Ramada? This isn't an Econo Lodge. This must be like maybe one of the Hyatt resorts. Someone let me know.
Tune in, June
Don't
7th.
actually, I'm kidding, folks. Don't actually stalk people. That's don't pull a Colton.
On ABC. That's always what I say when people ask me questions. I'm like, I don't know. Tune in, June 7th. 8/7 Central on ABC. Bad people anyway. But you don't need to keep seeing that negativity of people being rude, people being toxic.
Talking about haters.
Or even if it's let's see, because I know we're going to be in different situations. People are going to talk about me in ways that people would probably never even talk about you, which is actually very lucky. The way the internet dissects you is insane. But if there's people that make you jealous or upset or anything, block them. Block them, remove them, hide them, mute them, whatever.
Put them on your Instagram stories.
It's Mental Health Awareness Month, and I think we can all do ourselves a favor by eating our pride, swallowing our pride, and say, you know what? You win. You win. Do you win, though? I'm going to block you. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm just ranting at this point, but that was a thought I had today because I wanted to block this account. And I was like, no, if I block them, then they'll know that they got to me. It's yeah, they did get to me. And for my own sanity, for my own mental health, I'm going to remove you from my life. I don't need to see that.
Bye. Bye, haters.
Yeah, I'm an emo kid. Do you guys have emo night? Actually, unless you're from a major city, you probably have no idea what emo night is.
Katie's an emo.
Seattle has it. LA has it.
Emo.
Pre-COVID. Emo night. I would drop so much money. I didn't even care. I would pay for my Uber.
Imagine her with just a Hot Topic outfit.
And basically you just go to this bar and they play emo music on.
She's got the studded necklace and just the black eyeliner and she's
long, and it's just such a vibe, and you're just I don't know, something about emo music just takes you back to a more simpler time. I don't know.
What an emo thing to say.
Cocktail, actually. I was gonna make a video on this. Oh, thanks. YD Neal. It's gonna sound weird, but I promise you guys have to try it. Gin, an IPA, grapefruit juice. So good, so refreshing. Once I'm back home, I'm definitely gonna make a video on it because it was my drink of choice when I had time to
gin.
Make drinks. But highly recommend it. I think if you Google it, I think it is called the Elvis, but
that's a party drink.
Very delicious.
I can't wait to see Katie getting sloshed. I really hope, and I don't want any unneeded drama, but I really hope she does, kick back, have some drinks, and have a good time. I hope that was the process for her on the show. I know if I were on the show though, I would try my best to not get drunk, because God knows you have one drunken just blurp out, and that's going to be national news.
Don't be with someone
Dating
you
advice.
want to fix.
Don't fix people.
Anyone who knows me knows when I start doing this, I'm I am getting a little buzzed.
Keep an eye out for that.
Buzz.
Shimmy Katie.
Oh, my landlord situation. Wow, I got some originals in here. The short version of the landlord situation. Took her to court. I won a portion of it back, and was it worth it? Yeah, kinda. Sometimes it's more the principal.
Katie sued her landlord.
But I learned a lot from it. I always learn a lot with every landlord. I'm a huge advocate for the tenants.
Tenant rights. Fighting for the little man.
Because not all landlords, but a lot of them really take advantage of people, and especially now with COVID, landlords can be a little shady.
Not a lie.
What happened with the landlord? The short version of that is she tried to charge me for ridiculous things. Ridiculous things. So I took her to court, is the short answer. Have I been to Canada? Vancouver. I live in Washington, so Vancouver's right across the border.
Now, of course, Blake will be on this season of The Bachelorette, and he is Canadian. So we're trying to find out if she's got any love for the northern neighbors here. She says she goes to Vancouver, which, of course, from the Pacific Northwest, not that far away.
So that's the extent of my Canadian experience. Taste of Chaos, I think, was a big tour that happened in Seattle. That was my first Mosh Pit, which was actually so fucking
Katie
scary.
Thurston in a mosh pit.
If you fall, you die. At least that's what I thought. And so because everyone's just going crazy. And I remember
I'm going to be analyzing Katie's sense of humor. She goes, if you fall into a mosh pit, you die. At least that's what I thought. She's got a very interesting fluid intonation with the way she talks, and I think it's gonna I don't know if you'll be able to see this on the show with how quickly they edit things, but I really think it's good for a sense of humor to be okay with that brief staccato and then silence. I don't know if you guys analyze this or if I'm just in my head, but some people have a very just easygoing way to tell a story. And she goes, I was in a mosh pit, I fell, which means you die. At least I thought. I don't know. I just think it's versus a generic person who goes, I was in a mosh pit where I thought you would die, but that's not, whatever. She kind of hits that line, she sticks it, and then she keeps going. It's a good joke.
And so because everyone's just going crazy. And I remember the one time my side of the crowd fell, and my heart was racing. I was fuck, this is where I get trampled on and die. But no, it was really cool because then the whole other side stopped and helped everyone up, and then we just started raging. I remember this guy's shoulder was right in my face, and he was if you've ever been to a mosh pit, you're you were crazy, right? And I remember I bit his shoulder.
Cannibal
and then
Katie.
He turned around and looked at me, and I did one of these
She'll bite ya.
It wasn't me.
That's funny.
But he was I don't know. It's a mosh pit. I should have known better. I was only 16 at the time, I think.
Let me tell you something. You get bit in a mosh pit, there's no rules in the mosh pit. You know what I mean? You got Mike Tyson rules. You bite an ear, you go for it, you snag an ankle. You're in a mosh pit. Live a little.
It's scary. I don't talk to Matt James. That would be weird, I feel
Doesn't talk to her ex, Matt James.
Do you still plan to do comedy? Yes. So I have a lot I have to go through, and there's exclusivity and all these other things and blah, 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 and I have priorities and, whatever. But if you've seen my TikTok stuff or you've known me before, I've always loved entertaining, making people laugh. And so I still write stuff occasionally, but I don't know. I definitely like it. This whole TikTok thing, comedy thing was for fun and as a hobby. And I still want that to be an outlet for me. It's such a creative thing and it's so fun. And
if you love what you do, it feels like a hobby.
Tito. Yeah, but one of these days I gotta share with you guys my notes. So anyone who's a comedian, not that I'm a comedian, but you take notes or you write these little bits or lines or things. And sometimes I write these lines where I'm was I stoned? Like, what the hell was I talking about? Like, it'll just say, like, meat sword. That's
Every
it.
day.
No context. No
Every day, Katie.
Which, I mean, you can assume what that's about, but I'm like, why did I think that was funny?
Meat sword.
Where was I going with that? Or, like, I don't know, IBS is in there. Just really miscellaneous one-liners. Oh, my favorite, not my favorite, but it's like the most random one is Nature's Pocket. And then in parentheses it says vagina. Like, what?
Hot
I
Pocket.
don't know if I'm like living my dream. I'm just living. I'm still very normal, you guys. Like, that's the thing. This one person very passive-aggressively texted me the other day because I'm having a hard time catching up with everyone. Like, I have a lot going on. And she's like, well, it looks like you're really busy living out your dreams. And I'm like, no, I still have my condo from the 80s that I need to renovate. That's where my head's at. I'm glad you guys are excited for the season. You know what I want? I want a freaking preview. Like a preview, not a promo, a preview. I won't go into more detail, but that's what I want.
Interesting.
Because, like, sometimes you, like, go through a moment and you're, like, so nervous and you just, like, you're like, what was that night like? Give me a preview so I can remember.
You had too many of those gin drinks.
Oh, man, I can't with these feet emojis. You guys want to know something crazy? I'm going to tell you.
Tell us, Katie.
There's a website called WikiFeet.
Never heard of it.
I don't know who runs it, but pretty much every single girl on my season has a freaking page. Because, like, what happens is people capture the feet and then they make a page for them. And not just, like, celebrities. Like, I'm sure you could, like, Google, like, not Google, but, like, WikiFeet search Jennifer Aniston. Oh, what's up, Mink? Thank you. Do I still have MJ? Of course. Let's hope I don't need it anymore, though, right?
There you have it, folks. Let's hope I don't need my MJ anymore. So that's it. I really do apologize if the music's annoying. It's just kind of one of those things I had to play. I had to play the music. She was playing all this emo music in the background. I don't need Simple Plan to demonetize my channel. You know what I mean? Anyway, if anyone wants to leave a voicemail, I take voicemail calls during the live streams. The voicemail number is right here, 401-213-9828. You can leave a voicemail, say hi. Today at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I go live every Monday and Thursday. Come join me. It's a good chat. We talk about everything from Bachelor Nation to just life. It's a good chance to put the live stream on and get your chores done and ignore your kids or whatever it is you may want to do. Mother's Day was yesterday. You're allowed to ignore your kids for the rest of the week. You're a mom or a cat mom or a dog mom. I don't care if you got a gecko. You're still a gecko mom, okay? Well, shout out to all my gecko moms out there, all my reptilian moms, the cold-blooded moms. All right, folks. More videos to come. I'm going to be talking about Becca Martinez and how entitled fan bases can be to think, because there's a story about her and people were complaining she's doing too many ads. Like, it's like, all right, peasant, entertain me more. And I know Katie's talking about the same problem where you got to deal with haters and people that have this entitlement. Like, why haven't you gotten back to me? I guess life's pretty good right now. It's like, everyone's struggling to just stay afloat, folks, okay? Katie's still got a condo. She's trying, she needs a general contractor there to help her renovate a condo, okay? They've got problems just like you and I. All right, folks, leave a comment, hit the like button if you don't mind, and subscribe. I appreciate you doing both of those things. It's the slow time of the year, so anything we can do to ramp up production. And of course, if you want to donate or have or want any extra content, I've got a Patreon. It's called patreon.com/thesap. That's my podcast. I do solo episodes on the Patreon. It's super personal, behind the scenes look into my life, and we talk about dating, motivation, and stand-up comedy. All right, folks, that's the episode. I'll see you guys later on. Bye now.